Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let us chant one round with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita verse. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9. One second. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 25. Does anyone need to go first? Yes. Aditya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Arunita.
Yanti deva vrata devam yanti prataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti
Madhyajinopimam.
Madhyajinopimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And
Yes.
those who worship me will live with me. Thanks.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else need to go? So we'll just go in order. Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the humble devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat, Prabhuji. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan.
Pitrin Yanti Pitrivrataha.
Pitrin Yanti Pritir Vrataha.
Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja.
Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja.
Yanti Madhyajinopimam.
Yanti Mat Yajinopi Mam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrita Devan Pitrin Yanti Pitra Vrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajinopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay, next is Madhava Rasapriya.
Yanti Deva Vita Devan Pritrin Yanti Pritrivataha Bhutani Yanti Bhutetya Yanti Madhyajinopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Yes.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yanti
Pitrivrata.
Pitrivrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajinopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Yeah. Kalpesh Prabhu and Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Sorry, Sonia Mataji. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yanti Deva Vratan Devan Pitra Yanti Pitra Vrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajinopimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods, and those who worship the ancestor go to ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrita Devan Pitrayanti Pitravratam Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajinopimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Purn Pitrayanti Pitravrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyat Yagnopimam
Yajinopimam.
Yanti Mad Yajinopimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Message.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Vitrayanti Prita Vrataha Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Madhyajino Bimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Yeah. Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yanti Pitravataha Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya Yanti Madhyajino Apimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Saujanya Mataji and Pragna.
Yes, Mataji. Prashna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Vritin Yanti Pitir Vrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteya Yanti Mad Yaginopimam.
Yajinopimam.
Yaginopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Yes, thank you. Suhrit Spurti Mataji and Prabhuji.
Mataji, I will read.
Sorry. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yanti Pitruvrata Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya Yanti Mad Yajinopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Suhrid.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitran Yanti Pitra Vrataha Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya Yanti Madhya Yagnopimam
Yajinopimam.
Yajinopimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestor go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Others are not.
Not there. Okay. So did everyone recite? I think so. I'll also recite Bhagavad Gita 9:25. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin yanti pitrivrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghosts and those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So anyone remembers why Krishna made this statement? What was Purva Pakshi's question, in answer to which Krishna said this? Why
All these ways to worship, it was given. Some people, different ways people are worshipping Krishna.
No. Purva Pakshi asked a question, and in answer to that, Krishna said this statement.
Or will everyone go to the same place? Is it? No.
What was the previous verse, you remember? 924. What did Krishna say? Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhutanam ishwaro. No. What is that?
Whoever they worship.
I am sorry. Bhoktanam Prabhu Evacha.
Bhoktanam. Yeah. Bhoktacha Prabhu Revacha. Aham hi sarva. So
whoever they worship, the demigods they're worshipping, it is actually coming to me, but they're doing it in a wrong way. Is that?
That was the one before that, and then yes, Kalpesh Prabhu is saying. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Purva Pakshi, if I remember correctly, then it was question create different demigods. Is that a question from Purva Pakshi?
Your voice got broken, Prabhuji. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, so you were asking the question, what did Purva Pakshi said, right? So
yeah, what was that?
I think it is why did then he created so many varieties of demigods? That was the question.
That is the next question. So that comes second. Why he created so many varieties? Because there are so many types of people are in different modes. So those who are in the mode of goodness, they have a taste for worship and goodness. Those who are in mode of passion, they have a taste. That's why. But before this, there was a question. So it looks like nobody remembers. I'll say. Purva Pakshi said that you are so partial. You only give liberation to those who worship you, and you're not giving, because after all, the demigods are also following what is the method that is given in the Vedas only. Demigod worship also they are doing according to the procedures given in the Vedas. But you're partial, you only give liberation to those who specifically worship you, who understand Paramatma, right? Who has this Parameshwara Jnanam. Only those people will give liberation. You won't give liberation to those who worship demigods. Even though this worship is also given in the Vedas, what is their fault? They're simply following whatever is given in the scriptures. That's what they're following, like that. So you are so partial. That is the Purva Pakshi's arop, right? His complaint. So then in answer to that, Krishna said, no, there is no partiality. Those who worship demigods go to the demigods. Those who worship me come to me. And similarly, those who worship ghosts go to ghosts. Those who worship ancestors go to ancestors. Those who worship come to me, come to me. What is partiality here? Whoever you worship, that's where you go. But people who worship demigods, they are not getting liberation. Why? Because demigods are not eternal. Their planets are not eternal. So when after annihilation, the demigods are finished. So their planets are also finished. So what will happen to all these living entities? They'll have to come back again to this material world. That means they have to take birth again. They have to come back into the cycle of birth and death again. So that is the point. So it's not that I'm being partial, I'm only giving. No, and I'm eternal. So those who worship me, they come to me because I am eternal. They also become eternal. So you want to become eternal, you worship me. There is no partiality here like that. That's why Krishna said that. Okay, so now we'll go to Srimad Bhagavatam, continuation. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 20. Bali Maharaj surrenders the universe to Vamandev. And what was the recent statement made by Bali Maharaj? By giving charity. Yeah, so Bali Maharaj had said that this wealth, it's going to part from us anyway at the time of death, whatever we accumulate. So why not use that wealth in giving charity to a Brahmana. If this Vamandev is going to become pleased by giving him that charity, why not give it to him? Because this wealth is going to be separated from me anyway. Besides that, before that he already said that when he said that the wealth is going to go, what is going to remain with us in the end? What remains with us in the end? What does Bali Maharaj say? What should we strive for? What should we strive? Huh?
To make Krishna happy.
No. Bali Maharaj. Reputation. Correct. So he said, all this. Look at all these great kings, demoniac kings. They are, no doubt that they fought and they got wealth and they enjoyed. But where is that wealth and where are they now? They are gone. But their name remains to this day. Their fame, the reputation that they have acquired, that remains. Therefore, even at the risk of losing wealth, we should always strive to get reputation. That's what Bali Maharaj said. So therefore, I decided, and also he gave example of all these great personalities who gave charity, and we still remember them, right? Like King Shibi, and then who else did he say? Dadichi Muni, Shibi, they all gave charity. So finally he decided that by giving charity, a benevolent and merciful person undoubtedly becomes even more auspicious, especially when he gives charity to a person like your good self, O Shukracharya. That means by giving charity to a Brahmana, one becomes, his life becomes more auspicious. Under the circumstances, I must give this little brahmachari whatever charity he wants from me. So that's the final decision. I'm going to give him that. Okay. Now next verse. Whose turn is it today? Anyone remember? I think Kalpesh Prabhu read yesterday. Did Sonia Mataji also read?
Yes,
No, you also read. Okay. So then Priyanka Mataji, Usha Mataji and Medha, did you read?
No, Mataji. We haven't read for almost so many weeks, Mataji. If I can read today.
Okay. So Priyanka Mataji saying she read last, but you can read. It's okay. And then we'll go to Saujanya Mataji.
Thank you.
Yajanti yagyam kratubhiryamaadrita bhavanta amnaya vidhanako vidaha sa eva vishnurvaradostu vaparo dasyamyamushmai kshitimipsitam mune. Translation. Yes, Mataji and Medha, if she's there, both of you can.
O great sage, great saintly persons like you, being completely aware of the Vedic principles for performing ritualistic ceremonies and yajnas, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Therefore, whether that same Lord Vishnu has come here to give me all benedictions or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the requested tract of land without hesitation.
Yes. So still, Bali Maharaj is speaking to Shukracharya only. So he said that especially when we give charity to great personalities like yourself, that means someone, a Brahmana, a priest like you, right? So when we give, it is all auspicious for the giver. So saintly persons like you, being completely aware of the Vedic principles. So this is the important point. First of all, who is a Brahmana? Brahma janati iti Brahmana. You cannot be a Brahmana if you don't understand that the difference between matter and spirit. And as soon as you understand that you're not this body, you are a spirit soul, then immediately you also understand that I am a part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit, right? So Brahma janati iti Brahmana means Brahmana, it does not matter from which community he is. This much knowledge is expected of him, that there is absolute truth and I am a part and parcel of that absolute truth. I am not this body. This much knowledge is expected from a Brahmana. And then that is his qualification now to be the leader of the society, to perform, then he does Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. Pathan, Pathan, he studies the Vedas, he studies the Shastra, and he teaches others also. Yajan, he worships. He worships the Lord, and he also performs worship for others because they are not qualified to perform worship directly. A Kshatriya can perform worship for himself, but he cannot perform worship for others. A Brahmana can perform. That's why we invite priests, Purohita, to come and do worship, because Brahmana can perform worship for others. So Pathan, Yajan, he worships and he also worships for others. Yajan, Dana Pratigraha. So he survives by, he lives by whatever donations he gets, but he'll only keep minimum, whatever excess, because he lives a very simple lifestyle. So whatever is excess uh, than what he needs for his personal maintenance, he'll give it back in donation. Dana Pratigraha. Dana, he'll give dana and he'll accept also. So by this principle, a Brahmana is living. So Bali Maharaj is saying to Shukracharya, persons like yourself, that means Brahmanas, right? They're saintly, right? And they're completely aware of Vedic principles, because Brahmana means Pathan, he has studied the Vedic principles. Now the next point is, what is the goal of all the Vedas? What are the Vedas teaching us? Where are the Vedas pointing to? Where are they indicating? They're indicating this to the supreme absolute truth. To the supreme absolute truth. So anyone who knows the Vedas, who has understood them properly, then he will be aware of the Vedic principles, and then he will perform worship of the Supreme Lord. So Bali Maharaj is saying, great saintly persons like you, being completely aware of Vedic principles for performing ritualistic ceremonies and yagyas, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Okay, the ritualistic ceremonies or yagyas means karma. Okay, it is karma. But the purpose of everything is to ultimately, so the karma is also given in the Vedas. But what is the purpose of doing that karma? Yagyarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Karma should be performed for the sake of yagya. Yagya means for the satisfaction of Vishnu. If we don't do karma for the satisfaction of Vishnu, then that type of karma will bind us to this world. A Brahmana knows this, because this is the statement in the scriptures, in the Shastra. A Brahmana knows this. And a Brahmana is expert in yajan, in performing yagyas, in performing karma. Yes. But for what? For the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So Bali Maharaj is saying, saintly persons like you are aware of Vedic principles and you're expert in performing yagyas and ritualistic ceremonies. And why do you do this? For the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. So whether you're satisfying that Lord in one yagya, because you're performing yagya all the time. What is happening at this instance? At that time, what was happening? They were doing yagyas. They were doing yagyas for whom? Yagya means Yagya Purusha, the person who's ultimately enjoying that yagya is Lord Vishnu. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. Bhokta, who is the enjoyer of all sarva. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam, of all the tapasyas and yagyas. Who is the enjoyer? Krishna is saying, I am the enjoyer as Lord Vishnu. So they are doing yagyas at that very moment when Vamandev came. And who is performing that? Shukracharya is performing. Bali Maharaj is saying, you are so expert in performing ritualistic ceremonies or yagyas. For what? For the satisfaction of Vishnu. That same Vishnu has come here. And he's come. And why you do yagyas? Because you want benedictions from the Lord. You want to satisfy the Lord, and then he will give you. That's what we learned in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You perform yagya, the demigods will provide you with all the things that you need, and then you worship them. So they're also happy, you're also happy. Prosperity for everyone. That is the plan. So the Vishnu whom you are performing yagya for has come here personally to give me benedictions. Or maybe he's also come here to punish me, but it does not matter. My position is I must satisfy him. If he has come to punish me as an enemy, or he has come to give me benediction. In either case, I must carry out his order and give him whatever he is asking. Give him the requested tract of land without hesitation. So this is Bali Maharaja's conclusion. Purport, Sonia Mataji. No, sorry, Medhana.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
As stated by Lord Shiva,
Aradhananam sarvesham. Can you read?
I can try Mataji. Aradhanam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram Devi tadiyanam samajjanam. Although in the Vedas there are recommendations for worshipping many demigods, Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Person, and worship of Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. The Vedic principles of the Varnashrama institution are meant to organize society to prepare everyone to worship Lord Vishnu.
Okay, so the next person can read. Who's next? Priyanka Mataji read, right? So Saujanya Mataji and Pragya.
Yes, Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Varnashramacharavata.
Oh, yes, I'll read. Varnashramacharavata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradhyate Pantha Nanyatatosh Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. One must ultimately worship Lord Vishnu, and for that purpose, the Varnashrama system organizes society into Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis. Bali Maharaj, having been perfectly educated in devotional service by his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, knew how things are to be done. He was never to be misguided by anyone, even by a person who happened to be his so-called spiritual master. This is the sign of full surrender. Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, want me to read, Madan?
Yeah, either you can read or Pragya can read. Either way.
I'll give to Pragna. Pragna, you can read the shloka or you want me to read? The small one. Yeah. Mataji, I'll read the shloka. Marabi Rakhabi Yo ichha tohara Nitya dasa pratituya adhikara. When one surrenders to Lord Vishnu, one must be prepared to abide by his orders in all circumstances. Whether he kills one or gives one protection, Lord Vishnu must be worshipped in all circumstances.
Very, very interesting point here. So we understand that Lord Vishnu is to be satisfied. Yagyarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. If your karma, whatever work you're doing, if it is not done for the as a yagya means Lord Vishnu, satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. If your karma is not done for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, then that karma is going to bind me to this material world. Binding me means I have to take birth repeatedly, again and again, taking birth and dying in this material world. What is the way out? So you are saying karma has to be done for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So I can do any karma and I will say that I'm doing this karma for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu? No. That is also specifically said. You see what Srila Prabhupada is saying here in the purport? Read this line. There is no way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Not Srila Prabhupada. This is from the Vishnu Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties. There are duties prescribed. They're already given. What are the duties? In Bhagavad Gita we have, right? What are the duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas? Srimad Bhagavatam also we read in the 7th canto. And also there is a category of women. Duties for women, duties for Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, duties for Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. These are called prescribed duties. The Shastras have given everything. So Vishnu Puran is saying, if you don't, Vishnu Puran is saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is that not interesting? There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's only 3 ways. This is established by Srila Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha. To approach the absolute truth, actually there are only 2 ways in a broad way. You can count a third way. The third way is actually a stepping stone to one of these 2 ways. So there is a Jnana Marga and there is a Bhakti Marga. Okay, there's 2 paths. There's Jnana and Bhakti. Now, in the center, like before entering to Jnana or Bhakti, that means someone is not yet qualified to do Jnana or Bhakti, then he has to do karma. All of us are in that karma platform right now. Because when you go into Bhakti, Bhakti means Ananya Bhakti. Here also there is Bhakti, no doubt. But it is not Ananya Bhakti. Ananya means what? Nothing but Bhakti. You do only 24/7 you do Bhakti. That means your consciousness is completely, that's why Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna conscious. In everything that you do at every moment, you are Krishna conscious. And when you are Krishna conscious, what is the consciousness of a devotee, of Ananya Bhakta? His consciousness is Anyabhilashita Shunyam. I don't have any desire save and except the pleasure of Krishna. When? In the morning when I wake up, 24/7, my consciousness is like that, if I'm an Ananya Bhakta. Okay? Jnana karmadi anavritam. Jnana and karma will not disturb my consciousness. What is that? Krishna consciousness. Continuously my desire is to please Krishna, and also it's not simply desiring, there's practical activity. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Krishna Anushilanam. Shilanam means activity. Activity, cheshta. Either with your body, mind or words. Continuously are engaged in cheshta, cheshta rupa bhakti. You're doing devotional service to Krishna. What is that? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. This is bhakti. If I'm qualified for bhakti, then I don't have to do karma. No need. Varnashram dharma comes under the karma section. If any of you is in that platform of Ananya Bhakti, where 24/7 you are engaged, any of you means any of us, anywhere in this world, okay? If anyone is qualified to do Ananya Bhakti, that means his consciousness is like that 24/7, then technically speaking, he does not have to do any dharma. He doesn't have to do Varnashrama dharma or anything else. Because he is already in Bhakti. Now he is taken care of directly by Bhakti. Or the other path is Jnana Marga. Jnana Marga, the goal of Jnana Marga is realizing the Absolute as impersonal Brahman and going and merging into that Brahman. That is Jnana Marga. But for someone to be in Jnana Marga, he should have Antakarana Shuddhi. Antakarana Shuddhi means he has already transcended the 3 modes of material nature. No more material desires. Mind is completely controlled. Mind doesn't go here or there. Right? Antakarana Shuddhi. No desires. No desires. So if anyone has that qualification, complete detachment, right? This is my land, my family, my house, my phone, nothing mine. Then he's qualified to enter into Jnana. Then he doesn't have to do karma. He can give up karma. Who in this world has that qualification? So majority, right? You can say 99%, 99.99% of the people in this world, because we are conditioned souls. That's why we are in the material world. So, but certainly we have come in the association of a devotee. So now we have the aspiration, right? We want to achieve the absolute truth, attain the absolute truth. So again, our path is we want to go towards bhakti. We don't want to go towards jnana. There may be some people who want to go towards jnana. But nevertheless, while we are here in the karma stage, what should we do? Can we do anything we like? Like in the society today, everyone has all different types of work and, and they're created. If you go back 100 years before, did we have software jobs back then? No. Did we have factories back then? I don't know if there were any, maybe some. But now, all jobs, most of the jobs are coming from that type of work only, isn't it? So can we call all this work? That is why in Sri Ishopanishad also we read, there is Vidya and there is Avidya. Vidya means that which is prescribed by the Lord. That is Vidya. And Avidya is going against the prescriptions of the Lord. You cannot say you'll get the same result whether you do according to the prescriptions or you go against the prescription. Just like you get a prescription from the doctor, a medicine which is prescribed for your illness. Somebody who follows the prescription exactly, he will get one result. Someone who does not follow that prescription and goes against it, he'll get a different result. This is common sense. So there are prescribed duties. The scriptures themselves are prescribing duties for human beings according to each individual, according to your nature, not by birth, by your nature. And when you act according to those prescribed rules, now what is the whole program of this human form of life coming into this material world, especially in the human form of life? The whole program is, now we are in the prison house, we have to get out of this prison house. How do you get out of the prison house? You have to follow the guidelines. You have to become a good citizen, so to speak, right? Follow the law properly. So the law is already given. Prescriptions are given. Who should do what type of duty is already given. And what is the purpose of that duty? So when I become obedient to the prescriptions of the scriptures, then I am actually satisfying the Supreme Lord. By becoming obedient, I am satisfying the Supreme Lord. When I satisfy the Supreme Lord, then I'm not bound to this material world anymore. Then I am qualified to be liberated from this condition, material condition. So that is why the Lord's plan is Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma means what? The society is divided into Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. This statement is from Vishnu Puran. Unless you do it through Varnashram system, there is no way you can please Lord Vishnu. This is for those who don't have Shraddha yet to do Ananya Bhakti, or those who don't have Antahkarana Shuddhi to do Jnana, which is everyone in the world today. But even those who don't have Shraddha and those who don't have Antahkarana Shuddhi, if I'm not following the prescribed duties, where do I stand? Am I being obedient to the authority of the Lord? So it's very important. I was even listening to one lecture by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj yesterday. These things just come up. It's not like I'm looking for classes about Varnashram Dharma. I am actually looking for something else. And again, like today's verse also, again and again, this keeps coming up. Only earlier, I was not paying attention to it. What is the significance of this? I didn't realize. I would just read it and go by. It's like, I remember Aditi Lata Mataji also would ask me many times in the past, about What is this like Varnashram Dharma? It's like something of the past which used to exist. It's not relevant in the current situation. It's like you read about kings and it's like past. It's not, no. It's very, very much required today. Now it is required. And somehow we have taken it for granted that it's okay, we can do without. No, we cannot do without. Because the plan is for the entire society, for the whole world. It's not just for a group of people. And we know there are people with different modes. And Varnashram system accommodates everyone. Someone in the mode of ignorance, passion, goodness, everyone can be accommodated, and everyone together can be made to progress, go forward in their spiritual life. What is happening with the current situation? Everyone is going down. And what to speak of everyone, even devotees, because the modes of passion and ignorance are so prominent, we are not able to focus on Krishna consciousness, because we try to do little bit and again we go and again we get pulled, isn't it? Don't you have that experience? It's a struggle. So it's very important. So that's why here Srila Prabhupada is saying, and our scriptures are saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must ultimately worship Lord Vishnu. That is the goal. Everyone must worship Lord Vishnu. And what is the way to do that? The way to do that is the Varnashram system. Because in the Varnashram system, there is organization of the society into Brahman, Kshatriya. Why this organization? Again, by systematic propaganda, we have been taught, educated, and trained to think that the caste system is an evil, isn't it? It's very bad. Now we are all liberated. Now everyone is equal. But it is actually not like that. Caste system is very, very scientific. According to your particular nature, you are trained so that you can be peaceful. This is common sense. We can also understand. I have 4 kids and I know each one has a particular mentality. You cannot force one child to do, you cannot put everyone in the same box and say everyone has to do exactly the same thing. Everyone is an individual because each one has a separate nature. Somebody is more creative. Somebody is more, someone is like into art. Someone else is into construction. Someone else is into something else because they have that nature. You cannot force the person who is not an artist. You cannot force that person. Now you have to sit and do art. You understand? So it is very scientific. Give them their little space where they can express themselves. But dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness. You are an artist, good. Do the art for Krishna. You're a builder, you build for Krishna. Is this not a scientific system? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. When does the problem come? Problem comes when you forget that Vishnu is in the center. When you put yourself in the center, then the problem comes. The Brahmanas start exploiting others, thinking that we are the chosen ones, everyone is supposed to serve me. Or the Kshatriyas, the dwindling starts with the Brahmanas. Because they're the leaders, they are supposed to show the right path. Instead of showing the right path, when the Brahmanas start exploiting, the Brahmanas are the head of the society. When the Brahmanas dwindle, then all the others also start falling away. The Kshatriyas will then become, tyrannical. And then the Vaishyas and Shudras, everything, the whole society becomes corrupt. So the problem is forgetting that Lord Vishnu is in the center. Whereas that is the heart of the Varnashram system. The heart of the Varnashram system it is meant for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. When you have that type of, so in a proper Varnashram system, whether you get what you want or not, under all circumstances, you will worship Lord Vishnu. It's not that, let's say, I'm not having any children, okay? And I really want to have children. I'm not getting any children. I pray to the Lord, So now I don't get even after 15 years of marriage. So now will I say, What is the use of worshipping Lord Vishnu? Somebody said if I worship goddess Durga, I can get. So I'll just give up Vishnu and I'll go to Durga. No, in Varnashram system, they don't do that. Whether I get what I want or not, whether I have to face reversals or not, or in any case, under all circumstances, they will always remain faithful to Lord Vishnu. This is Varnashram system. Their Lord and Master is Lord Vishnu only. And that is what Bali Maharaj is saying here. And when you live by this principle, you are actually living by the principle of Varnashram system, then you will be liberated. No doubt about that. If you have this type of consciousness, then you will be liberated. That is why Varnashram system is progressive. It helps you. Of course, at the end of the last moment of your life, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. So when you do that, what is the ultimate goal? Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So if you are actually at every moment, if this is your consciousness, then at the moment of your death, what will you be thinking of? You will be thinking of Lord Vishnu. Anyone who remembers the Lord at the time of death, he will go to the Lord. So your life is perfected or not? So this whole Varnashram program, this system is very, very scientific to save people from going down into hellish lives or just coming back again and again and taking birth. Bali Maharaj is saying, Shukracharya, you are the Guru, you are a Brahmana, you know all this. You have studied the Vedas and you are performing so many yagyas. Why yagyas are performed? For the satisfaction of the Lord, for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So how Bali Maharaj knows all this? Because he is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee, he is Ananya Bhakta. He is properly educated in devotional service by his grandfather, and he also received the kripa of Prahlad Maharaj. So he understood that everything must be done for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. Whether he is coming as an enemy to take everything from me, or he is coming to give me benedictions, I must give everything to him. And my dear Shukracharya, being a Brahmana, being our Guru, you know all this anyway. He's saying that. But in his heart, he's thinking, even if my Guru is telling me to do something against. So that is why there's another important point here. One more important point. So who is our authority? Our authority is Shastra. Shastra Pramana. Pramana means our proof, right? What do we have to follow? Let's say if the Lord came, the Supreme Lord came and told you to do something, or let's say any step, what is your authority? The word of the Lord is the authority, or the word of the Shastra is the authority? Shastra means, let's take Vedas. What is the authority?
Lord.
Okay. Lord, huh?
Like the
Anyone?
traffic signal. Like the traffic signal example.
Like the traffic signal example. Okay. Kalpesh Prabhu, what are you saying?
If it is written in Shastra and even God comes and says something, then we will not listen to God. We will listen to Shastra.
So first,
Like in
so
Buddha's
Shastra is the
case,
authority.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll explain this now. Actually, it is not the Lord. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yes, you're right. If the traffic policeman says, then you follow what he says. But how do you know that he's a traffic policeman? Anyone can come and just stand there and just do, so will you just follow the traffic policeman? So actually, we have to follow Shastra. Usha Mataji, you want to say something?
Sorry, Mataji, to interrupt. But Shastras are given by the Lord, right, Mataji? So
Who told you? Who told you that Shastras are given by the Lord?
It is
Guru. Guru said that.
How does Guru know?
Parampara, by the Parampara system.
How did the Parampara know?
From Krishna only, from God only. It started from God only. God said first, right? And that's how
God gave Vedas to Brahmaji.
Brahmaji.
Brahmaji received the Vedas from the Lord. So Shastras are the mother. It's simple to understand. Shastras are the mother. How do you know who is your father? Who is the only authority in the entire creation who can tell you who your father is? There's only one person who knows. That's your mother. mother tells you this is your father, then you know that's your father. Now, after knowing this, if the father says, don't follow your mother, give up your mother. Now, will you listen to the mother or father? Who is the authority?
Mother.
Mother.
But special cases, father, no?
I'll give you an example. Lord Buddha came. Is Lord Buddha Bhagavan?
Yes.
Yes. Lord Buddha is Bhagavan. Lord Buddha said, forget the Vedas. Should we follow Buddha's instruction?
Not now. It
Why?
was
Why?
not now, because
But
that
he's
was
Bhagavan,
temporary.
right? He's Bhagavan and he's saying, forget the Vedas. Why you don't follow Bhagavan's instruction?
Because that is for temporary situation.
How you know that? Who told you?
Because the Vedas were not interpreted and used in the right way. That's why God
How
is
you
coming
know
and
that?
correcting.
How you know that point?
Guru
Because
told
that-
us.
Oh.
How does the Guru know?
Yeah, how does Guru know?
Again, Shastras.
Shastras only, Mataji.
Yeah, Shastra.
Shastras only tell us. So everything comes from Shastra only. The Shastras are called, they are Swayam Siddha. Swayam Siddha means Shastras don't need any support from anywhere else. They don't need any proof. Even to prove themselves, the Shastras don't need any help from anyone else. Swayam Siddham means they can stand independently by themselves without any other help. And the Shastras give us all knowledge, whatever knowledge you know. Vedas, specifically when you say Veda, Veda means all knowledge. Whatever is within this whole creation and whatever is outside of this creation. That means the spiritual world also, about the Supreme Lord who created, and whatever knowledge you need to do your any type of work in this world. Everything, all that knowledge is there in the Vedas. Nothing is outside of the Vedas. Vedas will tell you who is God. Veda will tell you when he will come, what he will do. Everything is there in the Vedas. So therefore, Astika, we say atheist, right? Astika, Nastika. Nastika means atheist. Generally, we think Astika means one who believes in God. Nastika means one who does not believe in God. That's not true. Astika means one who believes the Vedas. Nastika means one who does not believe the Vedas. Okay? And one who believes in God is Ishwaravadi. One who does not believe in God is Nirishwaravadi. But one who believes in Vedas is Astika. One who does not believe in Vedas is Nastika. So our authority is always the Vedas. Why we worship Krishna? Why we worship Ram? Because the Vedas tell us that he is God. That's why we worship. Why I'm making this point here, actually it's a whole course. In summertime, if you have time, it's actually a 10-day course. We can attempt to do that. Like I can teach and we can do this entire course. It'll be a good exercise for me also. But we can do it once. But the point is, on what basis is Bali Maharaj rejecting Shukracharya? That's my point here. Bali Maharaj is rejecting Shukracharya because Shukracharya is telling him to do something which is going against the conclusion of the scriptures. So therefore it is very essential for us to know what is Shastra, what are the Shastras saying, and that the Shastra is the authority. Otherwise, anyone will come and ask us some questions and then we become bewildered, and that will shake our own faith in Krishna consciousness. Isn't it? People come up with questions and then we are like, what's the answer? And then they take the opportunity, seeing that you don't have the answer, now they'll put other things in your mind. And if you're not strong in your faith will get shaken. Therefore, a Madhyama Adhikari is one who has strong faith. He may not. So anyway, that's another point. I'll take some questions here. Saujanya Mataji.
Then what about the traffic police example that we've been hearing all these days?
Yeah, traffic police example is what they follow. Again, that system, traffic police system, is not
Maybe,
exactly in the Vedas. That is the
yeah.
modern system. So I won't, sorry for quoting that before. I will not quote it anymore.
No,
Now,
in a lot of lectures also they quote, right, Mataji? It's a
yeah.
very
But even for the traffic policeman also, he will not tell you anything against scriptures. That is there. He will, I mean, against the rules. So here you are saying traffic police means guru, right? In our case, so that comparison is given to follow guru. But then the problem is anyone will come up. If you, what is the problem? If you say the Lord is the authority, then what problem will come? So many people will come saying that I am an incarnation. We know so many incarnations, right? So-called incarnations. In every town and every village, there'll be one incarnation. And then what? Because people will say in that neighborhood, they'll say, this is God. So whatever he said, that is Veda. Whatever he said, that is the authority. We will follow. Are we getting sidetracked or not? We are getting cheated. But Vedas will remain the same. In all circumstances, at all times, everyone will get the same knowledge from the Veda. You don't get different points, different ideas. Is that okay, Saujanya Mataji?
I mean, the other explanation what you gave, how Shastra's mother, that is more clear now. Now, so maybe I'll take off the traffic police example.
Yeah, take it out. Take it out.
We can't exactly match or convey the message. So
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
no comments.
The
Thank
traffic
you.
police one is not exactly from the books. It's, I heard in lectures, but
Yeah.
this we read in Ishopanishad. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the mother, Veda is the mother, and
Yeah.
Father, Krishna is father. And yeah, okay. Kalpesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
So often my like when I try to present ISKCON movement and try to say the supreme personality of Godhead, and every time my faith is being shaken when is the supreme personality of Godhead, and then there is an argument that okay, because I'm sticking to the words which I hear from the senior devotees and our previous acharyas, and their conclusion is that Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and I'm believing in it. I have a faith in that. But when we meet several, they say that okay. The because we go with the basis that all the in the Bhagavatam, and then there is a time and event also mentioned, like event is also mentioned in which family they will be coming, and it is known previously from the Shastra.
Right.
So the question is here, so that then sometimes the argument comes this way. See, you cannot understand Krishna, so it is inconceivable for you, and therefore there are certain avatars which are not prescribed in Bhagavatam, but they still conclude that they are the avatars and they do the propaganda for those things. And when I am presenting, I have my own faith to present the Krishna. So how do we really say, because they try to use that, oh, Krishna only told no that Krishna will come, and they will quote that yada yada hi dharmasya glanin bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline in righteousness, Krishna will come, right?
Yeah, but
So
when
they
he comes,
quote
whenever he comes, that when he comes, that is already said in the Shastra. So if they're quoting that, they have to show in the Shastra the name of that person that they're saying is God. That name and the detail should be there in Shastra.
come is like you cannot understand Krishna, and you're not, like in this case what you mentioned is very appropriate for me. Like Bali Maharaj was like having this Shukracharya thing, then say you are not qualified. You are not qualified to talk on, against anybody. Like
Who's
the avatar, like
who's not
like they
qualified? Who is not qualified?
like I am the person, right? Like Bali Maharaj, like in my case, then I am trying to Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And why I'm saying is this is because we are following the Guru Parampara.
Yeah.
Our Acharya has made the conclusions, and this is the basis of it. And the Shastras are telling us those things. So that is my short answer, because that is what I know.
Yeah.
But then they say that, okay, no, but you cannot understand Krishna, you're not qualified. You are not qualified. I mean, so how do we really
accepted? I'm not qualified, I cannot understand, but Shastra is Pramana. You accept that, right, or not? Shastra knows everything. The other person accept. That is why when you keep Shastra in the center, you cannot first. That's why if you keep Shastra in the center, they have to accept Shastra. If they say, I don't accept your Shastra, then we have a whole procedure to prove how Shastra is the authority. If they have already accepted Shastra as the authority, then okay, I'm not perfect, I admit. But Shastra is perfect. And Shastra says this, that the Lord comes. So you show me. If you are saying that so and so, I cannot understand, no doubt. I don't know all the avatars of Krishna, but all the avatars of Krishna are known in the Shastra. So your avatar must also be there. Please show me in the Shastra. And then also, show me in the Shastra, you show. And there is, Shastra only says this. Sadhu, Guru and Shastra. Whatever is there in the Shastra, Pramanika sadhus, acharyas, they will also recognize. So the acharya that you're saying, first of all, it has to be in Shastra, and it will also be recognized by Pramanika acharyas. Show me which acharya is recognizing your avatar, please tell me. Like that.
And one more thing, what was brought up is like in the Vedas, the first sutras, it starts with Athoto Brahma Jignasa.
Correct.
Right? So then they are saying like, okay, so Brahma Jignasa means it is not concluded. Krishna is not a supreme personality of God, and that is what also people say. I had those kind of dialogue, and then I gave up, on those people to
of
see,
course,
okay, there is no point in having.
That's also there. That's also there. So you make your point, and somebody's like, if they're being dogmatic, right? They're not trying to come to any conclusion, and even like Srila Prabhupada says, even after they are defeated, they don't accept defeat. Philosophically, logically, you have made all the points according to Shastra, you have proved it. But in spite of getting proved, they don't accept it and they just go on and on. Then just leave it. You have made your point. You've brought it to conclusion. You've said based on Shastra, you've made the point. And in spite of that, if they just want to go on, you can leave. You can choose somebody who, where you can actually make a difference in their life, right? By helping them in Krishna. You can use your energy on those people. Thank you, Prabhu. Aditi Lata.
That's right.
Mataji, for special cases, I remember when we discussed about this traffic signal issue, was there's another incident of Yudhishthir Maharaj lying. So it is on the special case that he was saying what he never does because Krishna told.
No, Mataji, not like that. I'll tell you, I'll explain that also to you now. In this angle, I will explain this. Remember, Dharma is on different levels. We discussed that. Dharma on the bodily level, Dharma on soul level, Dharma on devotee level. So, where are all these dharmas given? They're given in the Shastras only. What is the highest dharma? This is also said in Shastra. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna said. That means what? You forget all other dharmas, you simply follow what I say. That is said in Shastra. That is not only Bhagavan saying, that is Shastra. Bhagavad Gita is Gita Upanishad. It is Shastra. So when Krishna says you do this, you are actually following Shastra. You're not doing something which is outside Shastra. Yudhishthir Maharaj should have just followed what Krishna said. Krishna is the highest authority. Who said that? The Shastras are saying. I'm not saying don't listen to Bhagavan. Why you're listening to Bhagavan? Who's telling you that you should listen to Bhagavan? The Shastras are saying that is why I listen to Bhagavan. That is the point. I will follow what Krishna said Because the Shastras are affirming it, asserting it, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why, if I don't take Shastra and if I simply say I do it because Krishna said, then tomorrow someone else will say, like we have, what is his name? Poundraka. He said, I am Krishna. Now he will make some statements and he'll say, this is also Gita. I am speaking these words. And then you'll say, because you're accepting him as God, on what authority you're accepting him as God? You understand? So about Krishna, it's already it is made. Shastra has proved, has made it a point that he is God. And then Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Prapadaya. Shastra said, simply blindly follow whatever Krishna says, no problem.
Okay, so
But
this line only explains everything.
Right.
Then
Because
when
Shastra said, therefore I'm listening to Krishna.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay, so Mataji, now if you again ask the same question, like you asked in the beginning, that Krishna is saying, God is saying, whom will you follow, Shastra or Krishna? So in this point, I can say I will follow Krishna, and then I can say because Krishna is Bhagavan, because it is written in Shastra, and there it is said that Sarva Dharman Parityaja, that is the reason I will follow Krishna.
Explanation, but if you're first asked if you have to choose between the two, the question was either or, which will you choose?
I will choose Krishna, choose Krishna.
Because Shastra told you, that's why.
Yes.
So that means you've already chosen Shastra. You have accepted Krishna because of Shastra.
Yes. Yes, got it now. Thank you, Mataji.
Let's end here. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. I'm already late for the other class. I'll see you later. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Sorry, Mataji, I joined late today. Who has to read next, Mataji?
Who's supposed to read next? So Pragnya read. So we have to start with Suraj Purti family. Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Pragna didn't read. I read the purport.
Okay, so Pragnya will start.
Yeah.
Pragnya will